should be live, and I'm hitting record now. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right.
And you remember
Ah,
not to do the
we
unlist part,
are
right?
we are
Oh,
live, correct.
yes.
So welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Sports Gaming Anonymous podcast. I am Ree, aka Flash, aka SJ Flash, aka Flash Extreme, whatever. Joining me tonight is the best producer in the business, Dre Wingate. What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Man, another day, another dollar. And of course, we got Sladro, the fastest man you never heard of. What's up?
What it do?
Man, we're out here. So let's just kick things off. Let's just address the elephant in the room, on a very somber note. Obviously, we want to all give our rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Um, very sad. Uh, just across the board, what he brought to us, even before, Black Panther, just his contribution to just the world in general and films, obviously, he had been James Brown already, right? And Jackie Robinson. And it's just crazy to think about all the roles that he embodied, from Black Panther to Jackie Robinson to James Brown, Thurgood Marshall. It's just crazy to think about that there was one person that was able to embody all these roles and embody them so well. Like the character of like the Black Panther is now synonymous with like Chadwick Boseman, like forever. That's it. Just like how now whenever you think of Iron Man, you're just gonna think of Robert Downey Jr. like permanently. And it's just very sad. He's been battling colon cancer for 4 years, and colon cancer is one of those things that is beatable, like a lot of cancers. But if you catch it early, I
Mm-hmm.
think his was like stage 4, I think 3 or 4 by the time they got around to. So it's just crazy that for 4 years, like think about everything that he's been doing the last 4 years. That like is just wild to think about that he was going through while dealing with that disease that was slowly eating away at him. Like it's crazy. Like, just to think about that. I don't know. One of y'all go.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think about. Because for me, like Marvel and DC movies, I've never been a fan. I just never was into them. And Black Panther was literally the first one that I can remember of like me going to see just because it was Black Panther. I felt like every black person had to go see it. So that's literally like my start into like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Marvel DC, the same, not the same thing, but comic book type role. So like he played a big part in me just getting involved in that slowly but surely. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's honestly the same thing almost as when Kobe died. I'm scrolling down Twitter and I just see breaking news. I'm like, nah, this can't, nah, this not real. Scroll again, maybe 30 seconds later, his Twitter page posts the message they post. I'm like, that same shock just hit me. I'm like, damn, like
Yeah,
another
see,
one.
that's what got me, because you don't see that a lot. You don't see the
No.
the account associated with that
Mm-hmm.
person like putting out a message. Um, and I agree with everything that you guys have said. About like his work within Hollywood, within movies, all that kind of stuff. But I think this is one thing that has kind of been slightly overlooked. Uh, for 4 years, no one from his team leaked anything.
Right.
Like even when this man was getting now, Twitter can be great and Twitter can be terrible,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because Twitter
Yeah.
was crucifying this man and talking about him. In all those pictures, well, he was posting pictures, but when all those pictures were surfacing and everyone's like, "Oh, he's losing weight. Oh, what's he looks bad. Like he looks this, he
Mm-hmm.
looks that."
Crackhead, this and
Yep.
Yeah.
that.
And
Yep.
then now they turn around and everyone now sees that, oh, like that man was literally dying, like he was sick. But still, even when all that was happening, like no one came out and said, hey, he's actually looking like this because he's got, and he probably was at stage 4 at that point, not
Mm-hmm.
100% sure.
Right.
But they're like, hey, he's got colon cancer, this is why he's looking like this and stuff like that. um so kudos to his team. You
Mm-hmm.
know, obviously that's his family and probably like closest friends if they knew.
Right.
For not saying anything, you know, keeping every like if it was his wish to like, you know, hey, we keeping this inside, we're not getting this out to the public or anything like that. Kudos to them because we all know, you know, as a celebrity, once you get to certain you know statuses, information is golden, and
Mm-hmm.
anybody could have given that type of information out to do whatever with.
Right.
So
I
kudos
mean,
to his team, his family.
no,
You know, our prayers go out to them, but kudos to all of them for keeping
kudos
that. You
to
know,
kudos to him as well. Visiting St. Jude's, like and stuff like that, while visiting kids with cancer, like
hmm
less than a year ago, like and you're dying of it yourself, but you're just smiling, trying to make their day because that's what they want and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I have this quote which I saw this morning, and it was from I guess he got interviewed like 2 years ago, and then like the guy that interviewed him asked him, he said, "You came off one Black Panther project and then did Marshall and made another Black Panther movie. Did you bulk up, slim down, and then bulk up again?" And then Chadwick responded, he said, nods his head, looking exhausted, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then the interviewer was like, "You've been through the ringer." And then Chad was like, "Oh, you don't even know," and laughed or whatever. Then he said, "You have no idea. One day I'll live to tell a story." And I bet that interviewer don't even like he doesn't even know. Chadwick's in his head like, "Yeah, you don't even know. I bulked up, slimmed down, not for a movie role. Like I'm literally dying. No one knows."
right,
That's
Right.
crazy. Like looking back at that interview, that's a wild thing to hold to yourself. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
respect it though because
Yeah.
everyone different. Some people don't. He didn't obviously didn't want all attention because if
No.
you tell the world that, the world's going to give you your attention
yeah,
and give you
Correct.
flowers and things
And
like that.
and and it's funny that you say that because that kind of leads me to a point that I was going to make about just kind of Chadwick Boseman in general about how he carried himself as a figure. Because when I look at someone like him, I struggle to use the word celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because someone like that, like he never struck me as that person. Because celebrity is always a moniker that you put on somebody that's kind of like they're in the spotlight, they want it, they crave it. They're doing things for attention, and it's just like he was never that in my personal opinion. Like I never like thought about like, yeah, of course, he goes out to promote his movies and
Mm-hmm.
whatever he's got to do because you have to do that.
right,
But he was never you go on talk shows or whatever the case may be. But his personality was never that of, oh, I need this or I want this to boost up my ego or whatever the case may be. He was just an individual, right? That happened to be great at this. He was a great actor, a great person, a great human being. Like he just happened to be great. And it was just like it's unfortunate, right? That the people that have those qualities are so often taken from us,
Mm-hmm.
right? In just in unfair fashion. Again, we use Kobe as an example. Kobe was starting that next phase of his life that was looking to be just as successful as the first phase of his life, which is crazy to think about considering his success as a basketball player. So just like people and you can see the development that Kobe Bryant started to as he shifted towards the later part of his career, his basketball career, as he knew he was coming out of that, the more time he was spending with his daughters, the other things he was getting into as far as, the media and the writing and the books, and he's doing these little movies. It was just like he was almost a different person
Mm-hmm.
altogether than that of the person that he was when he was on the court, especially in his early years and maybe his prime. Just a completely different person. Just like it's just sad. It's unfair to see because so often do we get people that I don't necessarily deserve the longevity. You know what I'm saying? That they get in the
hmm
spotlight. That are terrible people. They're scumbags. They don't know how to treat people. They don't treat people right. They don't treat their staff right. They don't treat their fans right, and they get a long lease on it. And the
Mm-hmm.
people that always get this short lease on it are the people that are doing it right. And it's
right,
just sad. It's sad to see, and it's tough. It's tough to see, this happen, and it's hard. And me as a parent, it's going to be hard for a lot of parents. Me and Dre was talking about this earlier. Parents have to tell their kids, "Oh, by the way, you won't be seeing this person as Black Panther anymore." because he passed away. Like, how hard is that to tell? Like, how hard is it to tell your kids a superhero is it passed away?
And not like
Like,
movie died. Like,
right? Like that's tough. That's tough.
And
And
kids cried when Iron Man died, and that was a fake death.
man, look, boy, I should have teared the second time. I'm not gonna.
So
But
imagine telling them like, no, this isn't like a movie thing. This is a real life
this is
thing.
real
Like
life.
he's gone.
That
and that
it's
was me watching a video of Kobe wanting like Chadwick to star in one of his movies that he was gonna write. I was watching
man,
that video. I didn't even make it through the whole video because I couldn't take it. Like it was Chad. He was telling the story how Kobe was like, yeah, I'm gonna write for you. I want you to act for me. And then like,
and I'm sure you would have done it.
exactly. And I'm sure Kobe would have written a great script for him. So it's like,
I believe that 100%.
it's crazy how life works like that. And then everybody
Man,
was retweeting the pictures of Chadwick and Kobe, and I was like,
yep,
it made it way too hard for me yesterday. I had to turn
yeah.
everything off.
I can imagine. That's crazy. Yeah. So let's figure out how to lighten up the mood. I don't
But
know.
before we leave, I've been seeing floating around social media. Do you
Mhm.
think that the Black Panther? Y'all would know more than me. Like I said,
Wait, what's your
I'm
question?
like just in the Black Panther
So
movies. I've seen that been going around a lot lately.
so here's
Not
my
lately, but
here's my suggestion on that, because the Black Panther character is an important character for for Marvel, especially for the next stage, with like the new Avengers and stuff like that. Now, I think we were talking about it on the last Flash and Dash episode. We were talking about like Phase 4 and Phase 5 of Marvel.
Mhm.
So Black Panther 2 isn't slated until Phase 5, and I think that was 2022 when that
Right.
movie was supposed to come out. So to be honest, because it's going to be hard to just put another character in there, and Marvel does a good job of like, killing off characters or uh, doing, in memoriam of four characters like they did for Stan Lee and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think but this is hard because Stan Lee was just like, he was just, a cameo.
Right.
Uh, this is like a full fledged character. So I think there's only two routes that Marvel can go. One is easy, the other one can work, but it's going to be hard to script wise to write it in. So the easy way is you don't even put a male in as Black Panther. Just make Shuri the next Black Panther.
Mhm.
So then you move with the progressive movement. You've got, now you've actually got a Black female actor that's a superhero. So there's your representation, all that kind of stuff there. She's a character that everyone is familiar with. She's a character that everyone loves, and she's attached to the family. So script wise, you could write that in, as how she took the throne, and for some odd reason, however they want to write it. But that's an easier route to go. The other thing
Yes.
that's been floating on Twitter is, if you can find a way to do it correctly, and if you can just find a way to make it work, you bring Killmonger back and you make him Black Panther.
Mm.
Because now for him, everyone liked his character.
Yeah.
He was technically in the suit.
Yeah.
So all that fits. It's just that because his character technically dies, but they do have in the movie where they says, death is not, the final step, or
Look,
the
everybody's
culture and
died in
stuff
Marvel
like
at some
that.
point in
yeah,
time. Everybody comes
any
back.
movie,
Right.
everyone comes back from dead.
So those, to me, I think those are the only two routes you can go that fans would be most accepting. If
Yeah.
they go any other route, you have to hit. Like, it can't be a
Yeah.
miss at all.
No.
Or else if it's a miss, then you just gotta scrap it.
Yeah. They just. I think they just need to figure out how to quickly, unfortunately, write the character out of whatever plans they had.
Mm-hmm.
They got to figure out a good way to do that, but I don't know how, considering that, again, Black Panther 2 was already on the phase slate. Do you just get rid of it altogether and just say, okay? Because again, as we've talked about on a previous episode, I'm pretty sure of Flash and Dash, where it's just like all this Marvel all this Marvel stuff that's like we were just kind of like marveled out after Endgame. It was like, okay, And I think the next phase of the universe is kind of it's post Avengers, and again, we'll probably get to a point where there's the new Avengers, but that doesn't include Black Panther, right? So we can they might be able to just scrap it altogether, which to me it might be the best option, and that way they don't have to because the story can continue from where it is now. The story can continue as it's planned to, in my opinion, because again, you'll be starting a lot of new Avengers stuff and new mutant stuff. You really, what's left over is just like the Guardians and Thor stuff. You can move forward without Black Panther at this point, which I think might just be the best option altogether than trying to rehash it with one of those different character options. Because I don't know how everybody would take to that considering the circumstances.
Well, see,
There
I
being a
think it's
female
hard.
Thor is different because that was always written into the lore. That's in the
Mhm.
comic books. There is a female Thor. So them moving the Jane character or whatever to holding up, the mantle of being Thor is okay. Because it's there, it's in the lore. The Black Panther thing again would be tougher, but go ahead.
So, I mean, I agree, but the only thing that makes it harder, like a harder decision for them to just say, let's scrap it, is because, and I'm trying to think in the back of my mind real quick, then they would no longer have any African American representation
Well,
because
yeah,
technically, even though technically, you know, Zoe Saldana is Gamora.
yeah,
We don't know what's gonna be up with Gamora from here on because this is like the
we don't.
past version of Gamora that's living. The Gamora that
Right.
we all know,
I,
died and all that kind of stuff. Spoiler alert, but everyone should have watched
you
Infinity
should
War and
know that
Endgame
already.
by now.
Damn it, man! I was.
Uh,
I
and then it also depends on what they do with X-Men because then you can
Storm,
bring Storm in,
and I
but
think that was
then
part of the plan also because
because she was
as
married
everybody she
to
was to marry
T'Challa.
to T'Challa, correct?
So, but those are the only two options you really have with
Which that storyline would have been excellent.
with black characters. Because with DC, it's easier because they've got more black characters that might not be mainstream, but if something were to
They
happen,
can
like
fit them, yeah.
yeah, they can
Especially
fit them
Green
in.
Lantern being part of,
Right.
the Justice League.
Static Shock's got the cult following.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
like even the TV show Black Lightning.
Black
So
Lightning.
like
I mean,
DC,
DC
they've
is
got
more
those options. Marvel doesn't necessarily have those options unless they find a
they're
way to bring
there,
Miles
but they just need to
Morales
find it
in.
right. Like Luke Cage,
Right.
you can. They just, they gotta,
But
gotta find a way to
Big
get those
Panther, but Black
characters.
Panther was just big time, and
Yeah, oh, of
they don't have
course.
another big time black
No, they
superhero.
don't.
I think
He
that's the
is
only
the
thing they
big
were.
time black.
Yeah, they got
I
me too.
mean, then of
So
course there's Blade.
That is
So
true,
let's not forget about that because
but I don't think his movie
how
was
often do we forget that Blade is a Marvel character?
when we were reading it. Blade, I don't think Blade was in Phase 5. Now
It might
they
not be, but
could push him up and push him into Phase 5, because it's Mahershala
yeah,
that's playing
and
Blade now,
he's a huge
and
personality, and that's
right.
that there goes your black representation right there. Like,
Yeah. But that's what they would have to do. Now when it comes to the fighting and stuff like that, like obviously Blade's a great character, but I don't know if Blade can do
hold on, no Blade shade in here. Let's not do this.
I don't know if Blade can
Shout
do
out to Wesley
everything
Snipes.
to the level that Black Panther can
I
do.
don't know. I
Because you
think
saw
you should go
Black
watch
Panther
those
and
Blade
Captain
movies
America
again.
running down there and leading the charge. And I don't know if Blade's character is a character that people are gonna
Hey,
follow,
we'll find out because
and then also Wakanda is such a huge part of Marvel
it
now.
is.
Now that
It
it's
is.
open, the fact of vibranium, like it's just hard to kind of like you can still, even though you could write off Black Panther and still have Wakanda in there, it's just
You
kind of hard
can.
to have
I
Wakanda and
I
not
think
have Black Panther.
it is unless you maybe explore the Storm thing where you write a storyline where they got married and he passed away, and you're just showing that where she's kind of ruling Wakanda in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
You could possibly do
See,
something like that.
here's the thing: even when T'Chaka died, he immediately took that ring and put it on.
Yeah,
So if T'Challa dies, that means someone has to take that ring
I guess.
and carry on the mantle. That's why. That's why I said. I mean, granted, it
This,
would be a good route for them to just say, "Hey, his character is just too good. We're gonna scrap it." But it's
yeah,
just hard to just do that because of the lore of Black Panther.
yeah. It's tough, and it's
But if
gonna,
anybody can do it right, Marvel can do it right.
we'll see. The track record has been almost unscathed since Iron Man. So, we've had some hiccups, Thor, Dark World, and it's again there've been some bumps since
All
Iron
I
Man,
know
but
is whoever's on the soundtrack, they need to hit up Wiz Khalifa so I can get See You Again Part 2, like they did for Furious 7. I need another one. I need another one.
right. Yeah. So with that said, again, let's I don't know how to lighten the mood after that, but
A song or something. Jeez.
have we you know let's address very quickly because I don't want to spend a decade talking about what the NBA decided to move along with here.
Oh,
But
Lord.
uh SGA had made it very clear. We had a podcast about these boycotts and the NBA boycotting, and due to again, the Jacob Blake stuff, and then I guess things kind of got walked back really fast. I saw one of Chris Paul's comments where just like, everybody kind of needed to reset and refocus or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, I guess that's a politically correct statement to make. Thank you, Chris Paul. But, you know, is this what we really should be doing? Like, is this, you know,
Well, reports that I read, and like I'm saying, these are reports that I read. So me personally, I don't know what's factual and what's not. We weren't privy to that meeting, but just
no,
according to reports from that meeting, it almost kind of seemed like it was the younger players versus the older players. The
uh
younger players were like, no, we've got to stop playing. We've got to take this issue head on.
huh,
And the older players are like, we agree with y'all, just not on the stop playing aspect of it.
right.
We need to keep playing
Yeah,
because
because
they
old
know,
heads
the
want
older
borrowed
players know
time.
that, yeah, they ain't got much left.
Which I brought up
Um,
last podcast.
and then the other thing is, I heard that the way LeBron stormed out the meeting kind of turned uh, a lot of the younger players off from him. Like they saw a side of LeBron that they're just not used to. It's almost like it's like they say never meet your heroes in a sense, and
Yeah,
it's like what some people say about MJ. They're like, hey, like MJ was this on the court, but like off the court, if you ran up to him or if you saw him out in the street, whatever, like you didn't leave with a good story or whatever.
I'm
Um,
glad I
so I
never
think
met him.
like the way that he stormed off and stuff like that left some players a little upset. And some people don't know if he just stormed off because of the situation, if he
Hmm.
stormed off because
He
George
needed to
Hill
go
took
play
the
Madden.
mantle, and didn't let LeBron lead the charge and stuff like that. So like I said, we weren't a part of the meeting. We don't know, but all we know
Uh,
is that from the time of that meeting, and then we know that Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook did get on the phone with MJ. With kudos to MJ for
I know for
I can't
once.
remember if we said it during that bonus episode, but
I
kudos
don't
to
think
him
so.
for ever since the last dance, like acknowledging who he was
Right.
during his playing days. Like it was not 100%, but 150% all basketball
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
And then now, he's proven that it's never too late to change, or it's never too late to,
Yeah. He's
to step up and, grow from the person that you were in the
and of
past.
course being an owner, right? Where it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what's the and obviously I'm paraphrasing, but him speaking along the lines of like, okay, what does the conversation need to be, and what can we do, and what's the right resolution, or whatever the case may be. So again, you know, kudos to
Yeah.
MJ because
And
we
he's
know how
not,
he's
I mean,
been.
and we all know he's definitely, I mean, Steve Ballmer's the richest of all the owners, I do believe. But we all know
Yes.
that MJ is not, he's not in like the top 10 for owners or anything like that. But because of he was a player and like one of the greatest of all time,
And he's black.
not one of, he is the
And
greatest of
black,
all
yeah.
time. And now being an owner, like he can play both sides
And
and he
the,
can be that mediator. What's up, Aaron?
I'm just gonna let it go. You got it. Continue. Not today. Rest in peace. It's not today. Not today.
But he can play. He can play that great role as mediator between the players and the owners, since he's respected on both sides because of who he is. I don't think
Right.
no other owner could do what MJ can do.
And he wasn't even supposed to be on the call. It was all the bubble playoff teams owners on the call, and he still came in and did his thing. But in regards to playing, as simple as this: if LeBron wants to play, they're going to play.
Correct.
Nothing else to be said. LeBron James say we playing basketball.
Playing. That's
Is that
it.
what isn't that what Pat Beverly said?
Yep, Pat
Yeah.
Beverly tweeted if LeBron basically say lace him up, we lacing him up. Like it's no we thinking about boycotting this and that. If LeBron
No.
say we playing basketball, we playing basketball. And he's earned that right, honestly.
I mean,
Much as
yes.
I give it to LeBron. LeBron, he's the biggest face still in the NBA in year, whatever, 17.
Yeah,
So
17,
yeah.
18, whatever.
LeBron
It's
say we're
crazy.
playing basketball. We're playing basketball. That's all I got on that. So restart happened because trust me, LeBron wanted it to happen. And it's hard to criticize him with anything off the court. So like, just gotta roll with it. He's just gotta roll with it.
Yeah. You're right. You're
That's all I got
100%
on
right.
it. That's all I got. But I did say in the last podcast, if he did stop this, which I would gain new respect. Let's just say that respect, it ain't gone.
Right.
That's a different
Man. So y'all playing Madden, huh? How's that going for y'all?
So Call of Duty Cold War is coming out with a they dropped their trailer, and
man. It's no way that somebody should use their D tackle and run a damn in route with Michael Thomas. It's not possible, bro. It's not possible. It's literally
defensive linemen
impossible.
are
How
fast.
do you get on the defensive
I don't know
tackle
what
and from the jump you just start running backwards and you run around with Michael Thomas? That shit should be like, it's impossible, bro. Dude had 180 million catches last year, and the D tackle gonna shut him down. I bet. It's dumb, bro. And then he got picked. That's the worst part.
Reed, real quick,
Great.
since we are
That's
live
my
on
popcorn.
YouTube, your cousin popped in and wanted to tell you good night.
Like, that's not even...
Mabula Trim.
Hey.
What's up, Mabula?
Bula, what's up, man? Man, look. Listen, Madden. I told people I just did a review of Madden today.
I want a refund. Fuck that. I want my money back. Nope. I paid $71 for this bullshit. I got it 3 days early.
Nah, see, this is the first year I just paid for standard. I didn't even care about early access or anything like that.
And I had to.
Me and Dre split the cost, and we still, and I only feel partially like the money was spent. Okay, maybe.
I need $70 worth of content from Madden. I'm gonna be hot.
Look, you get the $70 worth of content. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
It'll be
shitty
there.
content is the
I
problem.
mean, that's
I'm gonna make $70 saying how shitty the game is. Right,
that's not okay. That's not
franchise
okay.
sucks. Thank y'all for that. Appreciate it.
Oh, but they did come out and say that 2021 we're gonna have a brand new,
come on, son.
Franchise.
It's
they haven't been saying that for the last decade.
30. This probably
I've been saying that every year.
Every
every year cannot be a step in the right direction. How many years? Like every time we can't keep giving this game a pass because it's a step in the right direction. We've been saying that for 5 years now. We can't be like, it's a step in the right direction every year. No, it's not. At some point, it's trash. And they're getting ripped this year. Okay, even IGN gave it a 6, and IGN they're the king of the Madden love. They're on the EA payroll as far as I'm concerned. So for Madden to get a 6 from IGN is like, whoa. Madden was a 6 when IGN was giving it an 8. So that means it's like a 4. But stay tuned for my review on reviews. Yes, play on words, good times. Coming soon. But I'm not going to spoil. No spoilers on the score that I gave, but it's not high. Let's just say that.
everybody that worked on Madden this year and the last 10 years needs to be fired. It's simple as
Mhm.
that.
That's
Get
it.
rid of every last one of
And
them.
as you said, and we've all, mentioned, and you have, information that you've acquired over the years. Um, the people that work on these games, Madden specifically, you can't have people that make games that don't know anything about. You can't have people make sports games that don't know anything about the sport. Okay,
Correct.
so you can't have people make a sports game and they're like, "Oh, how many points is a field goal?" Okay, no, that's all right. That doesn't work. Okay, it's like you wouldn't have that, and that works with any game. You can't have somebody that's like, okay, I make platform games, but you never played the original Mario games. No, that doesn't work. You need a prerequisite here to get in the building. Like, I'm sorry, you just, and that's
This
not, and that's the problem at EA
a
with
little
Madden at
birdie
least.
told me a guy in 2017 that used to work there. I might have known him, but wink, wink. He told them they should add someone reaching for the first down in Madden. This was in 2017.
Oh my god.
It took you 3 years to add the animation in the game. So people
And that,
that's asking for like a complete rebuild, if it takes you 3 years to add a let me
yeah,
reach 2 yards for a first down animation, how in the hell are we supposed to get a whole new Madden game?
exactly, and we're not, for several reasons that we've talked about. Okay, and those are options. Those are animations you're not gonna. And the problem is that those animations are what dictates a lot of the gameplay, right? It dictates how a lot of plays play out, because once an animation is started in Madden, you might as well put the controller down. Okay.
Yeah.
So uh, the game dictates how the end of those plays are going to play out 8, 9 times out of 10.
Bruh, and the
You're not
one
going to be
thing
able to
that
walk
has
that back.
always worked in Madden that they didn't need to mess with, they messed with. Like now, trying to kick the ball. There's so many glitches in just trying to kick the ball.
Why is
Like,
the
it's
why is
been
it
working
lagging?
fine the past
Sorry,
couple of
Dre.
years.
Look,
Um,
you're gonna need
like
to join the look. So what Dre is telling us is that
Dev missed his
he's gonna
119-yard field
he's gonna
goal
be
once.
missing $20 20-yard field goals like Dev.
Like
Shout out to Dev, free Dev. So, so that's basically what you're saying. So
I
it's
missed
crazy.
I missed 3 extra points with Justin Tucker in the online game. 3 with
yeah,
Justin
with
Tucker.
Justin Tucker.
He should have an automatic button. This man missed like one in his life. Like
Oh my
why
god,
why should I miss 3 in the Madden game? Like it
we
doesn't
know
make
why.
right. But Madden sucks. Let's go. That's my common theme. Madden sucks. And you can go through my history. I've never even criticized Madden like that.
No, you really haven't.
Terrible. I'm always
Man,
just keeping it in because I like Madden. That's
bruh, and I
my
was one
favorite
of
game
I
of
was one
all
of the last few
time.
people that was always like, hey guys, like I know we don't like a lot of stuff, but come on, let's buy the game, let's do our league and all this kind of stuff. We
This
ain't
is
even doing a league.
we're not even doing
Madden's
an SGA
Madden's
franchise.
like with when Kobe will have a game where he shot like 6 for 19. I just like we ain't really worried about that. He's done enough. Like
This is the year where, even within our group especially, even the most loyal of Madden apologists were like, nah, donezo. This is it. And the consensus appeal, even now, again, amongst user reviews on Metacritic, is at a 0.4. Okay, and that's at over, I don't know how many ratings it's climbed to at this point. It's got to be over 500 at this point, which, in the first few days is a lot for
and I
Metacritic
think
for
they've been generous.
user score. 0.4. Okay, the critic reviews it's in like the 60s. This was like, okay, this is the game, and everybody, and the consensus critically is like, okay, it's time for a reset. Not that it wasn't time for a reset already, but it's really time for a reset. They gotta scrap this. This has got to get built from the foundation up somehow. They got to figure out how to bite the bullet, okay, on just give us a season update and fix this game, because it's not going to be fixed on a 4-month dev cycle. It's just not. Impossible. So you got to build this from the ground up. Give us a season update, drop the cost, add some little mode to make it worth a purchase, even at maybe $40, maybe, and say, okay, you're getting the same
$40 is
game.
still too high.
It might still be too high, but I'm just trying to I'm trying to find the in between ground for EA and their deal with the NFL, Players Association. So I'm trying to find a middle ground for them as a business. So I think tell us it's a season update, give us the new rosters, new uniforms, new stadium stuff, whatever. Put in a little mode that you found the last minute, just like they did with the yard. $40. Okay, the people
I
still
still
gonna buy
haven't
it.
played the yard yet.
It's good. It's one of the good modes.
It's yeah.
It's not perfect, but it's good. We're just it's
I didn't even know they
good.
was Superstar KO in there until
They
I
did.
saw it like an
And
hour
What is
and
ago.
that doesn't sound like something I want to play.
Mutt Drafts is still
You
in there
didn't?
too.
Did you not play it in Madden
So
20?
No, I'm not.
they
playing
just
Like
They
I played a couple of games of it. You basically like you draft like 3 or 4 players, and then they fill out the
it's
rest of your
it
team
was
with like
basically like
celebrities and all stars and past players, and
yeah,
everyone's got X factor, the superstar abilities, and
it was stupid. It was stupid. And thankfully the yard is here to quiet that for them to just pretend like it's like okay, not important anymore. But do that season update $30-$40 and then take a proper like 8 to 12 month development cycle rebuilding the game. You don't have
bring
to
the
scrap it.
NCAA football team back.
They're not doing that.
I mean, players are getting paid next season, so it's a possibility.
Okay. Well, that's
but they're gonna put the Madden team on NCAA, and you think Madden
If they
can
put the
Madden.
Madden team on NCAA,
no, that's it. It's done.
I know
I'm going to their headquarters, and
I know where-
I'm
I-
protesting at the headquarters.
I know where the Madden headquarters is. Not too far from here.
Done. Please don't do that because if they do that, that's a wrap. That's a wrap on NCAA right out of the gate.
It's already a wrap on Madden for next year too. I can just throw it out there. Madden 2? That's not gonna be good.
Unless you tell me that they had been working on it
They haven't.
since like
They haven't. They can't.
February.
It's impossible. Because
They didn't have to do anything with this game. So clearly
they added.
No, they changed the menu, which is trash. But
So like
Trey hates the menu.
that's basically what they
Even if
did
they
for
try to-
6-7 months was change the menu.
they can try to start today to build a new Madden for 22 or whatever, but they can't because there's gonna be so many new requests and stuff coming in to fix the bugs and stuff that's wrong with this game. You're not even gonna have time to focus on Madden 22. So now you got half of your team still trying to fix Madden 21, and it's already out, which is you're just wasting time and resources, and you're wasting money. EA.
There's no good.
You're working on a game that's out already.
Yeah, there's no super good resolution for this, unfortunately, for EA. But it's either bite the bullet somewhere on this game and get to it on the next one, or again, give us a season update next year and say, okay, we're working on it from June of next year up until June of the following year, whatever the cycle is to be. But
Because y'all wouldn't dare try this with the Sims.
they gotta
That can be
right.
They put your head on a stick for the Sims.
Facts.
For the Sims. The Sims.
But in fairness, The Sims is not a yearly release, so
That's true.
so they at least have time.
This shit shouldn't be a yearly release either.
It shouldn't. It
And
shouldn't. If we're being honest, we got into problems once. I mean, and I'll semi dial it back because sports have always been a yearly release, but we didn't have this problem. What year are we in now? 20 years ago?
But see, here's
we
why,
didn't have this problem with Madden 05.
Here's also why when Madden was a yearly, I mean, it's always been a yearly release.
Madden 06,
a yearly
Madden
release
07,
earlier,
Madden 08
like
was
earlier
better
this
than
time. The thing was that it wasn't a broken game, and Reed, this kind of helps your case about graphics, but because they didn't necessarily have to worry about graphics,
that was the problem.
They worried about gameplay. Now,
but at this stage,
now they can have realistic graphics, so they focused on realistic graphics when that capability came out.
Yes,
and that's when
that's probably when the game. That was when the game was broke. That was the problem.
And then
but now they don't have to.
Now they're trying to fix it, but it takes too long to fix it. So my suggestion is that now that we're there in the graphics department, like biceps don't look like rectangles, like they actually look like biceps and stuff like that. Now that we're at that stage,
we're past that. Can we? Yeah.
Now we don't need a release every year. Like you said, just give us the roster update, and then because here's what they should have done.
Do it. What was it?
Madden
did that?
What Madden 17, Madden 18, one of those two Maddens. At that point, they knew that the next gen consoles are coming out. So right then, go ahead and decide, all right, hey, these next couple of years, we're just releasing roster updates because we need to build a new game. So when these next gen consoles come out, we've got a fresh game that everyone can agree with, move forward with, and we can start fresh with a new system. And right now, once the new systems come out in a couple months, they're not starting fresh with them. Now, unless Madden does something crazy, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, they're not. And
let's also get this straight. They don't give a shit about what we're talking about because Madden has become pay for play, basically.
Because
you spend the money, you play MUT, you're gonna have the best team. That's all they care about. Game's broke. Oh well, just buy the better players.
And they still got the Madden tournaments.
That's all they care about.
All that stuff.
They don't care.
Suck, spend $150 to get this $99.
And with COVID still going on, these Madden tournaments are about to be even crazier. Just like how 2K was doing their tournaments with the NBA.
As long as players keep, and not even just buying the game. Man, even buying the game is what it, because those sales have been down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the MUT sales are making up for that.
It's the residual income and the microtransactions as to why they can keep doing this. Mm-hmm. So while I think MUT was good at MUT is playable. It's a good mode as it exists because that's where all the focus goes.
Flagship mode.
Right, it shouldn't be, but for them it is. MUT replaced franchise like 5 years ago or however long it was as the mode. Once they figured out they could start making money off of that, that's where all their focus went, which is why it's the best mode in the game. So what happened is when it was introduced, it was a great addition because, all the time before that, Madden was just about franchise, which is fine, but it was just like, okay, well, what else can you do? And then really it's just like, you can play online or you can play by yourself. That was kind of it, right? So, the only other option was to introduce a new mode, and they did that with MUT, and MUT became a good, addition to the game. But once they figured out they could make money off of it, it became the cancer of the addition. Game. So MUT was the biggest double-edged sword addition into Madden. It's unfortunate, but
what's the last good Madden y'all played?
The last good Madden.
I don't mean like okay, it was just I mean, what's the last good Madden you played?
08.
That's sick.
That is, and I bet you if you polled 100 people, that would be like 80 people would give you that answer.
You know what? That might be something we put on the Sports Game Anonymous Twitter.
Hey, put that on the SGA Twitter account. Go to the polls once we get that up. But yeah, 08. Honestly, because
I'm trying to remember.
That was
the Vince Young cover.
Yep.
I was literally looking up. That's the last good Madden I played. I was like, I forgot what year. I think it was 09, but it was 08. Yep, that's the one.
08.
Vince Young on the cover. That's probably my third favorite Madden of all time.
09 would probably be pushing it.
Was that Brett Favre?
Yeah, that was Brett Favre. Mm-hmm. But starting with Madden 10, like from then on, because Madden 10 was when they did the dual cover with Fitzgerald and Polamalu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that
11 was probably the best cover they've ever done with Drew Brees.
And then 25 at some point, and
nobody speaks of that, man.
Garbage.
That was when the Xbox One dropped.
Hot garbage.
I played that Madden for 2 months, and
that doesn't exist. I have memories of each Madden. I have no memories of that Madden. Like it's just I have no idea what happened.
That Madden alone is my most frustrating.
And I was in college. I had nothing but time to play.
Exactly.
And did not play a second of that.
I remember 12 being trash. That had all kind of problems. I got YouTube videos from years ago about that. Madden's been a crapshoot for a long time.
My favorite Madden shouldn't be Madden 2003 still to this day. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's my favorite Madden. Still, 2003.
C said 04 for him.
That's nice. With Vic on the cover, of course, I'm sure. But everyone liked 04 though.
That was the last time Madden had a cheat code until last year with Lamar Jackson.
I can't even fault you with the.
But when you say
04, 05 was like.
That's what I'm saying. When you say name great Maddens, you're gonna go 04, 05, 08, and then you're gonna go
It's like
90, 95, 96.
Like late registration, college dropout, graduation, and then they just gave us fucking Jesus is King this year. Like we don't want that.
Like literally, I wouldn't jump to it after those 3 Maddens. I wouldn't jump to a new one. My brain would be like Madden 96, Madden 95. Those are great, but I'm like,
NCAA.
I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna say, oh, Madden 16, trash, 17, trash, 18, trash. Like these games are not getting better.
I gave y'all $1,000 in my lifetime, probably.
And 20 and 21 is rock bottom at this point. We have hit rock bottom with Madden. This is it. This is
it's under the rock. So
I don't.
We under rock bottom. Whatever under rock bottom is, we there.
I don't think we getting any lower than this. This is it. This got to be it. And people gotta stand up somewhere. Something's gotta give here. Either stop playing this game. If you bought it, okay, you bought it and you find out that it wasn't good. But I implore the MUT players.
Don't buy.
Do not spend any money on these microtransactions this year because that's the only way. That's the only way we're gonna get anything back.
Exactly.
Next year.
Everyone wants to win, but I'm not about to pay to win this game.
No.
How about you make the right game and the best player wins? How about that?
Correct.
That's a crazy concept, right?
Crazy. It's wild.
Oh, the better player should just win. How about that? Not if you can buy the best players.
Man, again.
I played a guy on MUT like today sometime in the morning, and his team was like all 99s damn near already. I'm like, you didn't grind for this. You just paid for this.
No, he bought that.
You probably gave them $500 to get you a nice team. Now you didn't brought goddamn 15 copies of Madden for them. So like,
right.
If the numbers are down, then they're gonna make
freaking
their money back.
Ridiculous.
They're just spending their
killing us, and the game's not gonna get any better, and they don't care because they know that the mode that they focus on gets better every year because that's where EA puts all their resources into is MUT. So the MUT player is happy. They're like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is more of what I want, plus, the extra bells and whistles. Sure, give me all of that. Terrible. If you're a hardcore MUT player, get off my lawn. So I got an interesting question that I've been holding on to.
About Madden.
Not about Madden at all. Because
I hate that we have to put rest in peace Chadwick and Madden sucks in the same title. This game is fucking terrible. I'm not done with Madden.
Chadwick Boseman would not be impressed by it, man. So y'all, Dre, he's got more context, I would say, on it's gonna mention something about the Ninja Turtles, right? So we know them as properties, right? Some of us more than others, obviously, me and C or the older folks but Turtles has never gone away. Still relevant to this day, and they've had new iterations over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all are familiar. Aaron, you're familiar with Ninja Turtles. Yeah. All right. So Ninja Turtles, they love pizza. You know what I'm saying? They love all that stuff. My question is, where do they get the funds for this? You always see they getting pizzas delivered. Where are they getting the money for this?
Man, that's a great question.
What is the Turtles' income looking like, and where is it coming from?
People dropping money down the drain.
That is true. Now, people are very careless when they got loose change and stuff in their pockets.
Not enough to eat pizza every night. No way.
Man.
So
wait a minute, hold up. But you also got to remember, they got you got those coupon books,
bruh.
So they could probably be getting 40% off. Or they could.
There's no way.
Those big boxes and stuff like that. Like,
there's no way. I need to know where their income. As a longtime Turtles fan from the '80s, I need to know where their income from. Where they getting money from?
When they're out fighting. You never know. Master Splinter might be, doing, martial arts classes on the side that he's, getting paid for and stuff like that. That's they just don't put it on the screen, you know, for contract purposes, you know, but he's really, you know, off on the side giving, you know, other animals, like he's teaching rabbits how to fight, he's teaching chipmunks and squirrels how to fight and everything. So, you know, he might be doing something for some bread.
Yeah, I think they're robbing people.
I don't blame them.
This is the dark side of the Ninja Turtles that we just now starting to uncover. They out here robbing people.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
They are picking all kind of pockets, bro. Like, they don't have jobs.
They might do a little side job, you know, protect some people, you know, like some real ninjas, man. That's a great question, though. I don't have an answer. I've been stumped.
C said nobody learning karate from a rat.
We
don't know.
Man, let me tell you what. And I guess they do maybe get money from April.
Oh, yeah, he did say April be looking out. So
I mean,
they could be robbing her.
Mm-hmm.
She got a job. That's true. So, I mean, they do, you know, they eat off of her sometimes. I've noticed that. Like, you know, she might order pizzas. They come through.
What if they get unemployment?
Don't you gotta be a registered?
Are you file for unemployment
as a turtle?
This is the 90s, right? So pieces a little cheaper. Let's get that. You know, pieces a little cheaper. I think when Ninja Turtles based in the 90s, we gotta take that in consideration.
It is cheaper, correct?
Pieces a little cheaper.
I mean, you know,
a little cheaper.
You're not paying taxes. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the darker side of the turtles that we gotta, you know, that we don't explore all the time.
I think they're robbing people too. I think that's the only logical explanation is that they're robbing people. And I don't
robbing people.
I would love to see that spinoff.
Right.
just show me how you get your money.
Well, like one day they came to the realization that they're doing all this crime fighting and not actually,
mm-hmm.
you know, get any type of kickback or anything.
Just showing me dinner every night. Nah, how did you get that dinner?
How did you get it? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to know. So what y'all think about I just gotta step away here for 2 seconds, but I'm gonna let y'all get the conversation going about movies, the theaters, and trying to get back to them. I know we've mentioned this before, but I know Tenet is, you know, started showing in places.
September is the big release.
Reviews, we'll see.
September 3rd or September 4th, one of those two.
Yes, I believe. I don't know. I mean, I'm for it just because I want to see Tenet and nothing else, really. I don't care. I'll dial that back. But
I was just really hoping that they would just release Tenet for us to stream. That's what I was holding out hope for.
I'm hoping we might get, I mean, thanks to Disney opening the door. You tell people about that. Hold up.
Because I'm already done with going to movie theaters. But what we were talking about earlier, Slater, I don't know if you heard or not, but like Disney Plus was supposed to be releasing Mulan.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
I think September 30th, but sometime in September, or not September 30th, but sometime in September 4th, $30. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's been announced that they're still going to do that, but if you don't want to pay the $30 for Mulan, then you can just wait until December and it'll be on the streaming platform for free in December. So basically, so what we were talking about, we were like, so it's kind of one, and you know, Mulan's just a test movie. Mm-hmm. Depending on how this goes, this route would work great for highly anticipated movies. So like a Marvel movie, a DC movie, a Fast and Furious movie, like any of those, you know, action-packed movies, Tenet, movies like that, you know, those big blockbusters, they're like, all right, we're going to release this in theaters, or you can catch it on our streaming service. If you don't want to do either one of those, then you can wait 3-4 months and then you can watch it. And some people are going to be like, all right, I'll wait 3-4 months. But some people are going to be like, man, but everyone's going to see it. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Spoilers, yada, yada. And that's going to drive people to pay so they don't miss out.
It is.
So it's an interesting, you know, model, but I don't know how it's going to work or anything like that. I don't know if kids are going to be going to school, you know, and spoiling Mulan.
No, nobody's spoiling Mulan. We know what the story is already.
Right. But we'll see how it goes. Like if a good amount of people pay that $30, then I see this being something that Disney does going forward.
Good, because then we can get Black Widow.
I also see Disney doing this because they thought it was going to be easy to just knock Netflix off their game. That's what they really thought.
They sure
I thought
did.
It too. I thought it as well.
We all did.
Disney's coming.
We all did.
So much content that they have that they own that Netflix is about to.
But see, here's the thing that we didn't actually like. We all said that, but here's the thing: I don't think we took into consideration. We like Disney's new content, but we're not necessarily going back watching all that old stuff that they have on there.
No, Disney stuff is very aside from, because they acquired, certain Fox properties and they got access to the Simpsons. But aside from that, like, you're not going back to watch like, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast.
And like,
well, not even that. Like we weren't. Like I watched That's So Raven. Yeah, I watched, the Proud Family, stuff like that. The Proud Family, I'd probably go back and watch that. But
some of those random older movies.
Yeah, I loved Boy Meets World when I was growing up.
Yeah,
and like I'll go back and I'll watch like a couple episodes, but I'm not gonna probably sit there and binge the entire show unless something like quarantine happens and you have that kind of time. But
and I guess that's another thing. That's the avenue of Disney that, again, everybody is so excited about it because aside from all that older stuff, you're like Disney, you're like, oh man, this is great, getting all this fun. Got the old X-Men show from the 90s, and that's fine.
All the Spider-Man animated shows are on there.
But it was like, you thought about that, and we were like, oh yeah, they got Star Wars, they got all the Marvel joints on there, the Simpsons, all this stuff, and then we just forgot that it was just like, okay, but there's nothing original there yet. I mean, Mandalorian was great, right?
Right.
But then it was like, okay,
all the Marvel original stuff isn't coming until later.
Yet. That's not coming yet. So it's just like, it didn't launch with that. And then it was like, I think it was that moment that we truly started to understand and respect the importance of Netflix originals. And how much original content matters. Because you go on Netflix every week, they got some new original shit for you. Like, consistently. Every time you open that shit up every few days, you're like, yo, what is this? Like,
and then with their animated originals, like, they don't wait a year for the next season. It's usually anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
What Disney won't do, I mean, it's new, so I can't say they won't, but what they haven't done, and Netflix will spend money to go get TV shows. See, Disney's so greedy that they don't want to just buy like Moesha. They want the whole network. They want everything because Disney's just greedy like that. Netflix will buy this TV show, buy that TV show. Come, let me license this. Let me do that. Disney like, nah, we want your whole channel. We want all your shows.
Right.
They want pick and choose like Netflix.
Nah, they want everything.
Netflix is spinning that bread on any.
Yeah, because it's like what we talked about in last week's episode. Netflix picks up. Not every single one, but Netflix is the only streaming service that picks up canceled network shows.
Yeah.
So they picked up Lucifer, which season 5 just dropped. I need to start watching that. They picked up Designated Survivor. So those shows,
Terminator.
Those shows that they get canceled on network television. Netflix like, hey, y'all can come to us and
continue.
We'll give you a couple seasons. Like, we're not going to give you 6-7
Heist?
seasons, but we'll give you a couple. Say what?
I started watching it.
Money Heist is one of the most elite shows Netflix has ever had, like top 3.
What's the show?
Money Heist.
Oh no, I haven't seen
probably
it.
The best dubbed show.
It's so good. I forgot. I didn't even know it's dubbed until season 2. I was like, oh shit, they're not even talking. Like they're not even.
It's not even matching
up.
Right.
They brought this show from like Spain or something.
Dub is really good for Money Heist.
I think it's the best show I've seen since Prison Break for me. Like, it's that good for me.
Yeah, Money Heist is really good. But Netflix, like I said, those Netflix originals, man, especially the anime. Netflix got better after Disney came out. I don't.
They were waiting on that movie. They're like, all right, bet unleash the hounds on here.
Yeah, like we got they just don't slow down, and they keep getting these properties. Like we talked about the Old Guard, and we watched that, and we're just like, they're getting A-list actors to do Netflix original movies. Like, this is not just like some TV budget. Like, this is not like,
bro, I keep telling you about the last 2 movies I've seen on Netflix, Old Guard and Project Power.
And I haven't watched Project Power yet, but I just know it's good. Like
A-list act. I mean, you got Jamie
bro.
Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in a movie together. Son. You know you're paying them bread.
A-list.
Like the one thing I do, if Netflix ever runs into a problem, it's gonna be because they have too much original content and like it's not bringing enough because they're paying money. Like they're sending bags out to everybody. And then 2 is God, I forgot what I was about to say. When like The Office. So The Office, that's 7% of their viewership total, which that's a lot. That's almost 1/10 of your viewership. And just The Office, people just rerunning it, watching The Office every day. I'm one of those people, so I know they lose that in like 2021 or 2022.
Next year.
Because NBC is gonna have their own thing. Everyone's gonna have their.
They already got that Peacock.
Yeah, they've already got Peacock.
We talked
about.
But
I think it was a contract thing.
Yeah, so they like that's the same thing with Disney. Like The Last Dance is ESPN, but it had to go to Netflix because those contracts were already written and stuff like that. Once all of those contracts run out, and stuff like that with Netflix, that's the only problem I can see them running.
Yeah,
because losing 7% of your viewership is that's big. That's not no small chunk of.
But I think that's another reason why Netflix has done what they've done, because they're like, all right, we need to crank out this original content because while we've got these people here,
I agree.
We need to have stuff here that's going to keep them here once we lose these properties.
They make up the ground with the original content, because even me being, again, a super fan of The Office, like even I'll go back to it every now and again, but I did my I'm binging The Office again type of thing. So once you do that once or a couple more times after you've seen the whole series, you're like, okay, I'll keep digging into other content, my original content on Netflix and all that stuff. I'm just like, it's like I don't even think to load up the other programs anymore. It's just like, let me check Netflix first, right? If I'm actively watching something, then I'll continue that. Like right now I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm like, I don't even think like, oh, let me go to Hulu, or let me go to Disney, or let me go to Amazon Prime. My first and foremost is like, all right, let me go to Netflix and then go from there, because
I haven't logged into Hulu since Disney Plus.
I'm on Hulu every night.
Hulu is, unless you're watching something specifically. Plus, I don't like Hulu's interface. It's a turnoff.
Yeah, me too. I hate it.
Interface is trash.
I don't even like Disney's, honestly.
No, theirs is trash too.
I mean, it's the same.
Amazon's is trash. And again, that's the appeal of Netflix. They have figured out the interface, the algorithms, the original content. They're blowing every other application out of the water in that. And again, Disney doesn't even factor into that category in terms of algorithm and content, because there isn't enough content for there to be algorithms. It's not even necessary. They just have that Disney stuff there, and you know what to click on and where to go to get it. It's not even necessary. Like Netflix is so unique. Netflix changed the game so much that no matter how closely someone's interests are to yours, if you open up their Netflix, you'll know instantly it's not yours. Instantly.
Oh, for a fact.
Like even like me and Courtney, like our interest in what we watch is very similar. But if I open his Netflix, I'm like, yo, this looks way different than mine. And we watch like 60-70% of the same stuff, but it's still way different. I looked at my sister's Netflix, and it suggests new things to her that don't even pop up in mine, like at all. There's a whole level of content that, for example, I see and that she sees that neither of us even are aware is even on the platform. Like
Netflix is just dropping that bag, man. You know how much money they spent on comedy alone? Like just strictly comedy.
Isn't Eddie Murphy supposed to have a stand-up coming out?
Original stand-ups.
They got a couple more from Dave Chappelle. They basically own all of Kevin Hart's back catalog when he was actually really funny. Not saying he ain't funny now, but like he was.
The new Seinfeld joint that came out.
Like I just saw they had like a George Lopez. Even though I don't watch his stand-up.
Bro, I saw
George Lopez stand up
Hilarious.
there. I'm like, I always see Bill Burr. Like
Bill Burr, hilarious.
They have
I fuck with him too.
The content, bro. It's a girl. I can't. I need to watch this. Her stand up. It's actually funny as shit, bro. I gotta figure out her
Netflix
name.
changed the game, and that's where you go when you're like, oh, let me, like, that's the, I don't even say premiere. It's the only of the applications where you can go for stand-up comedy. You're not getting that from Hulu, Disney, or Amazon Prime. You're just not getting that anywhere else. That's not even an option on those
or
other
Peacock
platforms. Or Peacock for that matter. Correct.
That's NBC.
Yeah. It's actually good. Peacock's got, there's a lot of stuff on there that nobody else has.
Rhea and I went through that rabbit hole, I think, 2 weeks ago?
A few weeks ago, yeah. Peacock is great. But Netflix, again, the original content, the stand-up originals, all those deals that they have with those comedians, the anime, like, and again, a lot of the backlog of the anime is, you know, they're missing a lot of stuff, but at the same time, the original anime content, it's all there. You know what I'm saying? So, and Netflix is just, they changed the game forever, and they're still leading the pack in the changed game of streaming services. Like, and a close second is Game Pass. So that's my Game Pass plug for this week. Game Pass is the second best streaming service ever. Yeah, but probably a better deal than Netflix in the terms of apples and oranges. It's probably a better value than what Netflix is, because
it is most definitely the best value streaming service.
Oh yeah, because you're getting $60 games that you're bypassing that $60, you know, because a lot of games are go to Game Pass. And I say a lot as in all of Microsoft stuff, obviously, and then, you know, even there you got the third, but like when Outer Worlds came out, that went straight to Game Pass. Like, that's a whole $60 purchase you didn't have to make that month. You know, for even at $15 a month, you know, is still a big value. And you don't even always have to pay $15 a month, because if you catch a deal, you get 3 months for $30 or $25. So, you know, my last subscription was 3 months for $25. I got it was on sale at Best Buy. Like, and those deals are always like, they're always like floating around. And now that we're heading towards the end of the year, you know, heading towards sales time of the year,
especially with the consoles about to come out.
You about to get 6 months for like $25. So or $30. Like, look, it's there. And if you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, I don't know what you're doing. So there's no excuse for that, those two things to not be happening conjuncturally. Unless you're not a huge gamer like that, then, you know, okay. But if you're playing games like that, and not just, you know, a few at a time, like 1 or 2 sports games a year, then Game Pass is the way to go if you got an Xbox. No excuses. Like C said, the first month, you know, is $1. Like, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you got $1. Everybody got $1 to waste.
Right.
You waste $1 every day on something dumb.
Like $1 for the games that you can get. Like, you could spend that $1 and you're like, I could play Gears of War 5, Forza Horizon 4, the Ori games, Cuphead, Battletoads. And I'm just pulling random highlighted games out of the woodwork, but those are all things that you have access to just right off the rip on Game Pass. And then, of course, for those of us with Android phones, xCloud in a couple of weeks, bam, right on your phone. So,
and Sam J is her name. Watch her stand up. I promise you. That's it.
Did I hear about that one? I don't remember.
She is. At least watch the preview. If you don't find the preview funny, you shouldn't watch it. At least watch the preview. It's like 3 minutes.
That's a bet.
She works for she's been behind the scene, like behind the camera, I guess, all her career. Like worked for SNL, stuff like that, but never got on the camera and actually did one. Her shit was hilarious. I'm like, she's dope. She's nice.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned with y'all got anything else before we head towards the closeout here?
Really, it's been ain't not much in the news. Not much lighthearted stuff in the news.
No, that's we don't need to dogpile the crap of the world. The world.
And I got some things, that I do want to ask and talk about because I know it's gonna set the group off. But we gotta wait until everyone's back home and back settled.
Oh yeah,
and we can get everybody back on the podcast. Because
me too. That's some of my top.
I got a couple of things waiting because
I got to rile some people up, but it's only
correct.
It's only two of y'all that get really riled up.
And really, the one question that I definitely want to ask the group, everyone that I know will be against it, is not on the podcast right now.
Great, good. So we can save that for when they're here.
So hopefully that'll be next episode.
Hopefully. But again, as we continue to tell y'all, the show must go on, right? So the SGA podcast will continue to roll along. 3 people, 4 people, 5.
I did. I was supposed to say something I forgot before we
What's up?
Madden sucks.
Oh damn! I mean, yep, it sure does. Free dev. It's and eventually what we will get to, if you pay attention, you stay closely involved with our Twitch channels and our YouTube page and gaming and stuff. Eventually, we're going to get a showdown of Dre and Dev rematch. Apparently, from what I've heard, Dre's been ducking Dev.
Ducking?
I'm not going
ducking.
Now, if I hang on, let me go to the group me real quick.
I'm just a messenger, right? So I'm not exactly.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Y'all see
that name? Y'all see that name right there? Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that?
I mean,
wow,
it's there.
What's that under that? Look at that picture. Wow.
We ain't worried about that picture.
Look at that picture.
I mean, that happened, but I mean, I've heard that since that game, there's been a lot of,
I told Dev after that because Dev should have won that game, but he got cocky. Well, and I took advantage of his cockiness. So I say he didn't even deserve to play me anymore in Madden 20 after that. I don't care how much he begged. Damn. So I told him when Madden 21 came out, then we would have our rematch. So
Madden 21 is out, people, and
nobody can beat me in Madden. Simple as that, even though it sucks.
I mean, coming soon. We're gonna get that Dre and Dev rematch. Should be on I can only assume that it'd be something that gets streamed on Twitch. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. And
this man Aaron giving himself a cut.
He's getting ready for his new role starring in whatever the new porn is. Well, there goes the mustache, so that idea is gone. I thought he was going for the porn stash, but I guess not. But yeah, it's look forward to that Dre and Dev rematch.
You gonna shave the other half?
Probably not.
Yeah, I like
the Madden 21 exclusive rematch coming soon. Who knows? I might even jump in there and put my 2 cents in the hat. Probably not. Madden's trash. But
just like this motherfucking shave I gave you.
For the content, people want to. If anybody wants to see it, I'll jump in there. Maybe.
And if we decide, if we have a change of heart, we might do.
Damn, I look
a season or 2 of a connected franchise. I doubt it.
We won't.
But
we're not going to.
Who knows?
But y'all might get an old head matchup.
Madden sucks, man.
Between me and C, you never know. Well, look out for that as well. But yeah, we'll get Courtney on there cheating, throwing 70-yard bombs.
But never winning a Super Bowl.
That's still the rookie.
Actually, I'm sorry. He did win 1 Super Bowl. He cheated. He cheated Slater out of it.
All right. Well, I don't know. Oh, damn. That's
so.
I got mine. I got a ring. It's all I know.
I
got this many.
Don't ask when.
I wasn't involved when you got.
Don't ask what year it was from. But I got one. That's all that's important. The cupboard is not bare. It's just dusty. So that's. So again, I would like to thank anybody who watched during the stream, anybody who watches after. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that stuff because they tell me we have to say those things. Somebody says that. I don't know who. But yeah, Dre, where can they find us on social media?
Hey man, you know where the fuck to find us. You found us there last week.
I mean, they kind of did.
But if you're new and you don't know where to find us,
new and this is your first time watching,
You can go, if you're on your computer, you can go to our main page on YouTube, go to the About section, and our links will be on there. You can go to the description of our most recent podcast episodes, and the social media tags are in there as well. If you're too lazy to do either one of those, or if you're not on your computer or for whatever reason, on Twitter, we are at Sports Games Anon. On Instagram, we are at Sports Gaming Anonymous. Join our Facebook group, Sports Gaming Anonymous. We actually just had to kick somebody out of the Facebook group, but
hey, he had to go.
Hey, we're open to all opinions. We don't care what side that you're on. All we care about is respect. And
that's it.
If you're gonna come in there, you're gonna be disrespectful. I'm sorry. As easy as it is for you to get into the group, it's that easy, for you to leave.
Get gone.
So just watch what you say in there, and watch, know your audience, basically, is what I'm saying. But join the Facebook group, Sports Games Anonymous. We all Twitch on our own separate channels. Like I said, I will stop procrastinating at some point, and I will get
Monday,
graphics for all those up.
I'm coming with the Twitch. It's coming.
And then we will be going live on YouTube as well. So we're pretty much on all. We don't have a Snapchat. If anybody's messaging you on Snapchat, it ain't us.
People use that.
Our Snapchat is at POR. I'm just joking. I'm gonna stop.
But we do also have a Sports Gaming Anonymous Cash App. Just hit us up at $Dre80Day.
Aaron,
whatever amount you feel like sending, it will go to support the channel, and we do appreciate it. So just make sure that is $Dre DRE 80 80 day DAY. And then outside of that, that's all the places you can find us.
Yeah. So anyway, eventually though, we'll probably come up with something for y'all.
Yeah,
once we get there. Patreon, we'll get there. Just not now, but we will get there. Then you can start giving us $1 or $2 a month. Everything matters.
I'm gonna my mustache on camera.
Wait, no. Remember, the 50th subscriber gets Stacy.
Yeah, get Dash's dog.
Hey, 100 subscribers.
But yes. So again, thank you all people out there for joining us. Thank you, Sladro and Dre, for joining me tonight as usual. And again, we're gonna get some more members on here. Free Dev, we might get him on here eventually. But yes, so thank you for joining us, and we appreciate y'all. We appreciate.
Shit, out and bleed.
He's out here. Sladro has got to go to the emergency room, and thank you.
Who knows if they'll accept him?
We shall. They won't.
I'm good.
We shall catch y'all next week.
And myself.
He'll have a Band-Aid on. So thank y'all.
He gonna be Nelly.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be over his.
On my lip. No, I ain't covering up no hurt. I just cover
the eyebrow. Right, exactly. So remember this for next week. But anyway, again, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, and catch y'all next week. Peace out.
Deuces.
Mm-hmm.